Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Keith Parris. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. Let me say good morning again to Keon. Good morning to Carby. Good morning, gentlemen.
Yes.
Happy Friday to you.
Yay, yay.
Yay, yay. So, brother, you back to writing, huh?
No, I never stopped writing. Just back to expressing myself and writing. Oh yeah, I never stopped writing. I did start writing, but lately I've been back. But no, that wasn't writing. That was just notation.
If I say up, this Negro gonna say down, right?
And if you listen, I'm gonna tell you, right?
I wouldn't stop writing. Yeah, but I'd stop writing. You sound like Rick James. I didn't mess up that couch. I messed up the couch.
I mean, I haven't actually started writing. That was a notation. I take notation. I've been notating for years. I got years worth of notes every year in the crate. I had to put something out there for myself. Release the beast. I ain't got to release it on you so much.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm glad you.
But I will again if you keep on coming. But Grandma say, I ain't mean to poke your eye, knock your eye out. Come on, let's put it back in your head.
You be working it out on me, boy.
Because you be wanting to get worked out.
Show up.
What'd he say? Man, you handling me rough. I said, you a rough handler.
Come on, babe.
Because you notice, Carly, now you've been here for a little while, right? When I shut up, he go to somebody else and they get him, right? It ain't me. But if I'm steady going back and forth, they're going to think it's me because I'm the stronger person.
We fight every day?
Yeah.
Like every day? Is that a...
And if I don't say it, that seems Brit. Keith, what the hell? DJ, hell no. George, come on, man. Al did Al.
Shalom, brother.
Yeah.
Shalom, brother.
All right, you got into it with Craig the other day. I was like, oh, you got to do it with Craig? Oh.
He put me on blast.
But I had to get out the way.
Wow.
Okay. Everybody think it's Keon. No, Keon just the fighter.
It's
I'm
funny,
a front runner.
It's funny you say that because when I used to have youth ministry, I would say to the kids, if your teachers are tripping, if your parents are tripping, if your friends are tripping, they don't have a problem. You the problem. So it sounds like I'm the problem.
Admittance is the first stage of recovery. You did hear about, you heard my affirmation. Write it down and start writing again, Keith.
Man, all right, man. So you're writing again or what?
I knew it wasn't me today, Keith. The day DJ said, right? The day DJ said, hell no, forget that. I was like, what? It ain't me.
Oh, you misquoted him. You misquoted him.
He was on, what he said?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, yeah.
You always have to preface it with the O. Yeah, the O just. It's Friday. Oh, yeah, man. Okay, disconnect there.
So no, Keith,
whenever you started, however you started, it was very well written.
Oh, because I'm a writer. You thought I was going to be like and all that stuff, am I right?
Because I'm a writer.
Yeah, I'm a
writer.
You
just started writing again.
No, I didn't just. That was not a poem, Negro.
No, it was affirmation. It was proclamation. It was a lot of. It was long.
Trust me. I tell folks you may want to argue with me, but don't write nothing down and think you're gonna get me because boy, listen. Yeah.
That's why he's the gifted and talented
G&T,
one.
baby.
There you go.
Harambe, gold in my ear, should have been king. Morris should have been king, but I went to Marshall. I mean, I'm skilled and rough at the same time.
So was it you just wanted to be with your boys? That's why you ended up in Marshall?
No, I got tired of being with them cats for 6 years, because we did G&T. So G&T, gifted and talented, was gold in my ear. There was a lottery to get in king.
Okay.
But if your parents went to king, you automatically got in when you got entered.
Your legacy.
So, yeah. So it was Goldemeyer, Morris, and then Rufus King.
Okay.
Automatic. So by the time, the time came to choose schools, I was looking around like, no, I'm not doing this no more. But then my father had reel-to-reels and like heavy equipment at the house. He always had microphones around. So I was like TV video broadcasting, I said I wanted to go to Marshall. Now my parents didn't know I wasn't going to King until 2 weeks before school started. because they was too busy leaving latchkeys to be latchkeys.
Okay.
So
you're making some life decisions.
I
on
made
your
a
own.
life decision. Yeah.
I was torn between King and Riverside.
And guess what though? When I skipped that day and went up to King, them same fools was on side of King shooting dice. So you shook your head.
No, it was King because I just remember when, especially when I got to like 6th grade, 7th grade, Parkman, King was the spot. But my uncle went to Riverside, and so I knew a lot of folks there too. So I was torn. I loved the East Side. But then I really loved going, like when I was a kid, going to Rufus King football games, seeing Curtis Davis, folks like that. And I thought it was going to be King. And King would have been very interesting. And then the crazy thing was, I was at Dominican and I would skip school to go to King and North.
Mm-hmm. Didn't we?
Yeah. Because we got out of school early, so I could get there, before they're out of school. We were out at 2:30.
I did that a couple times. I skipped in school. I skipped class to go into other classes.
That wasn't happening.
No, I'm just saying, I had that kind of personality. Somebody said that on the show that the teacher let them skip in their class. I could go in there and, they saw something. But I didn't understand skipping school, though. It wasn't nothing to do out here.
That's I was with you on that. Now, it had to be.
I might go hide
I stay at home and watch TV all day.
I might go hide in the auditorium with somebody pretty.
And you go by some of these houses, man, hanging out with these folks, and you be going like, oh, man, one light bulb in the whole house. And it's like, no, this ain't my
Oh,
place.
yeah. They had skip out parties, and then the police be to chase folks up out of there.
Yeah, and the people I felt bad for was people over Peckham / Jackie Robinson, because they right across the street from a cop shop. So everybody talked about how that was the most difficult school to skip in just because of the location to a police station. But I don't even think the cops cared much.
Oh, yeah, you had the hot-footed. Well, I don't know about your day. Yeah, they had tabs. I think they had started tabs. No, they started that after me, but it was something about being out of school. Yeah, you hot-footed because they whoop.
Oh, man. Now, when it came to like late May,
what are you doing?
When the weather gets nice, oh, man. But no, we and then be some days, the way our schedule was at Dominican, where I literally only had one class, right? And so then what I'm going to do? I was crushing on a young lady over at North, so I go over there and stalk her for a little while. And I just hang out with my friends from the neighborhood at King. So
skipping school wasn't an option for me. So skipping school wasn't an option for me. So
it wasn't a real option either for me.
The skipping school was just not showing up that day.
And then everybody knew me at school. So it's like if I wouldn't, it would something would be wrong. So I can't. That just wasn't me. Couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have privileges.
The voice you just heard was that Devon Jones, DJ the Protege. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
If I had your hand, I'd cut mine off.
Cause it's hard out here for a pimp, and you gotta make money for the. All right. Huh? Yeah. You seen that one? Oh, I gotta take Hustle and Flow off the list. Okay.
That should never even been on the list.
It wasn't on the list. But there's some on here. Did you make one? Yeah.
No, I ain't make no list.
You didn't make a list of movies, Carver. You need to do that, man. This is we had to do that for you. So now you need to help. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did, Devon. Yes,
we did that for Kanita.
It started with her, but in you rolling on her, we found out that you had some deficits.
Yeah, we did.
Rolling on her.
I ain't had no deficits.
Yes, you did.
No, I
yes,
didn't.
you did. Carby, guess what? This brother, until he was here, this brother right over here to my right, had never seen The Color Purple. Yeah.
Right.
Wait.
Hold on, we're gonna get to that. So anyway, today we're and everybody want to be everybody be involved with this movies that, and I'm only using your moniker, all right, movies that young Carvey should see.
It's Prince Carvey.
What's it now?
Prince Carvey.
Okay. Young Prince Carvey should see. But before we get to that, did anybody watch the State of the Union last night?
No, I had better things to do.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. 414-444-5250. Did you watch the State of the Union last night? what were your impressions of his speech?
I saw just a clip of it though. It's just a lack of decorum. Marjorie Taylor Greene just shouting
And who was
out.
she sitting next to? Gwen Moore.
Yeah. And you can see the look on her face.
Somebody texted me last night, and they were going like, "How come Gwen Moore hadn't slapped the plank out of was it Marjorie?
Yeah, Taylor Greene.
Taylor Greene."
It's-
I never. Now I'm just full because hey, we're journalists here. That was the first time I ever saw. We are journalists here.
What did you write?
We're journalists here.
Oh,
And so the
Community
observation
voice.
is I've never seen, and I
didn't
watched
write
the State of
nothing.
the
He's
Union.
Pundit.
Okay, we're pundits here, but I'd never seen
what
Gwen
field?
work the owl.
For what field are you a pundit?
I'd never seen Congresswoman Gwen Moore. She worked the owls yesterday, and that's how she ended up, I think, next to Margaret. Was it what is her name?
I thought you were. You should know if you're a pundit
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
and a journalist. See, I can't give him a break for a second, Carvey.
But the thing is, she did that just to give attention.
Yes.
And Biden, he's so weak. He gave into it.
Oh,
I would have ignored her.
Well,
I would
he
not
could,
have.
but if he would have ignored her, she would have been able to come out and say he didn't mention that young lady.
But he was talking about her though.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the
And
day,
then he hung out. They said he hung out for an hour after.
The family was there.
Yeah.
All right. They know who he was talking about. And so her doing that is just to put a spotlight on her, which it was in a negative light, and he gave into it.
It was kind of a play on what we were doing when we say her name when we were talking about Breonna Taylor. She used it to talk about an undocumented person in the country who ended up committing a crime. But he pointed out that, yeah, well, you could worry about the illegals. It's the legals that are doing the damage.
He ended up saying, well, how many instances does this happen though?
Right.
He did end up saying that.
Right. And so if you're concerned about, I'm not so much concerned about so-called illegals. I think the issue they had with him was what he used the term illegal. And people who work with immigration, because it was attached to the term, I think, illegal alien. So now they talk about undocumented immigrants.
I mean, I remember when 45 was in office and I was working with a young lady who was a product of Dreamers, and she actually had to go back home.
Okay.
And we didn't know if she was ever going to come back. Eventually she ended up coming back. And it was just a crazy time. And mind you, this young lady, she was extremely smart. She was in college. She was getting ready to graduate, already accepted into potentially graduate school. And she was just doing a lot of great things. Obviously, she's working with the inner city youth. But because of those things were in place, and this is somebody who was doing it, quote unquote, the right way. Right. And so
Dreamers are the ones who were brought here as kids,
right,
by their parents. Right.
And so what we do is consistently highlight the 3 or 4 bad apples and try to make it the rule. No, those are the exceptions to the rule.
Right. Oh man, we lost a caller. Caller, you can call back 414-444-5250, 444-5250. Good jobs report came out today. I think they had about 275,000 jobs. And so there is a disconnect. And I think part of it is because of the prices that we're paying.
Right now?
Yes.
You still talking?
Oh, I'm good. The prices that we're paying. Caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How your brothers doing this morning?
Good morning.
The question is, I watched it last night, and the question I got to ask, well, we got a lot of old people making decisions for us. A lot of old people.
I brought that up before, but you know, people tried to hop on me for that.
No, come on, man. A lot of old people that's about to leave here. And they got us fighting about an old white man that, yeah, he's getting up there.
No,
And
he
he's,
up there. He ain't getting up there.
you know, well, he's getting up there. I'm talking about as far as his brain being dysfunctional. But the question I have to ask is, when are young people going to realize that they got to start making decisions that have got a lot to do with this country? Because if you looked at if you counted, I think 1 billion years was in that room.
Yeah, I mean, but it's always been old white men who've been running the country, with some exceptions. But for the most part, even if you begin to look at, you might have a young president, but he'll surround himself with older people in his cabinet. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't think that there's an issue with Joe Biden's mental acumen. I think he's able, obviously, to function. I think this is an issue for a lot of people, style over substance. He looks old, and so then there's this reaction I think that people are having. But if we go beyond how he looks, we have to go and look at what he has done.
And of course, I mean,
I would say, to answer your question, I would say that you know, the people that are in charge, they got to give up the power. It's not that the younger generation doesn't want to make decisions, that they are attempting to, but you know, Biden got to move around. Trump got to move around. You know, Nancy Pelosi has to move around.
Did.
Chuck Schumer has to move around.
Well, Chuck is,
you know, like those that old oligarch, it is still there, and so yeah, there. I mean, you have Ocasio Cortez.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's there, but you know,
Hakeem Jeffries,
right? But
he's minority leader,
right? But they just got there,
of course.
But still, they're the minority still within their.
But if you look at the Democratic caucus leadership, they're relatively young. And even when you look at some of the leadership in the Republican caucus, they're relatively young. It's still going to be, there has to be a balance between age and youth. I think that, because there's something about experience and wisdom, but there's also something about energy and bring it. But I think Joe Biden said something last night. He said it's not how old you look. I think, and I'm paraphrasing, it's how old you think, right? And I constantly talk about how we think old. Some of us in a certain group, we started thinking old, right? They're resistant to new ideas. You know, the old days were the better days. Well, the thing that we have to remember is that at that point in the old days, they were the new days, and there were differences and there were changes. So I think, you know, we're and I agree with you, DJ, that there's some people who are not trying to hold on to power. But let me shout out the Democratic caucus in the House of Representatives and their leadership transition, because all three of the older folks, Clyburn, Steny Hoyer, and Nancy Pelosi, stepped away. And they said, look, and we're going to be fully supportive of Hakeem Jeffries. So you see that in terms of them making that generational shift. But the problem that we have in the country in both parties is there is no bench. And what I mean by there is no bench, there's people there. But let's say Joe Biden decides that, okay, I'm too old for this. What's the Democratic alternative? Because I saw an ad right before the State of the Union address where
we know it ain't going to be a black woman.
Well, and here's what they did. I mean, you talk about, man, these political folks. So there's a picture of Joe Biden forgetting stuff, stumbling, the whole thing. And then they talk about his age. And then there's a picture of and I'm going to use this adjective of a cackling, I can't think of her name now, Vice President Harris. So what do you have? So you have this cackling, laughing black woman, just opposed to, so their point is, if he dies, you get Kamala Harris. And for a lot of folks,
who is the Secretary of State?
Anthony Blinken.
Man, I don't even know who that is.
So it's scary to think that we knew one day that prices was gonna go up on everything.
Right.
So why are we keep fighting this battle where all the prices is just getting outrageous? Everything is going up high, but then they don't want to pay nobody nothing so they can compensate them.
Right.
For the prices going up high.
Yeah, it is some sticker shock when you go in and you were like, man, that used to cost $5 less than it's costing now.
Yeah.
But that was also because of all the money that was put into the economy, through the stimulation package. No, that's caused inflation. Too much money.
That's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Well,
they just tell us that, and we just believe stuff because they tell us that.
No, that's true.
That's dumb.
It is true. If you took an econ class, that's what they're going to tell you. Too much money loses its value. Too many people have the money. It's happened before. So what do? They say you wring out the economy. You make credit harder to get, which now means that money has more value. And so that's what you're seeing. But the downside of that was we had all of the inflation because of the supply chain issues, because of the stimulation dollars. It created inflation, but people were still eating. You're paying more to eat.
Just because they tell us that don't make it right.
All right. You're listening to.
You don't have to eat some of that stuff.
Right. You're listening to Community Voice. Call ICU. I'm gonna grab you right after the break. We'll be right back.
But it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live. I just want to do God's will.
You know his voice, you know his journey. Join WNOV The Voice for the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Trivia Contest. Be the fifth caller whenever you hear.
Like anybody, I would like to live. I just want to do God's will.
And answer the question correctly for your chance to win 2 tickets to the play by the Milwaukee Chamber Theater's production of The Mountaintop, which explores and imagines the human side of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So be the fifth caller whenever you hear.
Like anybody, I would like to live. I just want to do God's will.
For your chance to win 2 tickets to the play The Mountaintop.
She's been called a vocal force to be reckoned with, and now you can experience the artistry of Shayna Steele live and in person when she joins the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra for Nothing But the Blues, March 15th through the 17th at the Bradley Symphony Center. Call 414-291-7605 for tickets or visit mso.org. Shayna Steele will take you on a musical odyssey with popular tunes that helped establish great artists such as Bessie Smith, Billie Holiday, and Louis Armstrong, as well as the blues genre itself. From the St. Louis Blues to House of the Rising Sun and Baby Won't You Please Come Home, you'll be swinging and swaying in your seat. So come and bask in the vocal glory of Shayna Steele with the MSO in Nothing But the Blues, March 15th through the 17th only. Visit MSO.org for tickets or call 414-291-7605.
Hi there, I'm Deslyn Smith, the Executive Director of United Garden Homes Incorporated, the proud sponsor of the Nayumbu Opendo Show, broadcasting on WNOV on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Poverty, illicit behaviors, drug abuse, and addiction have been affecting the quality of life for decades, not only in the Garden Homes neighborhood, but within disenfranchised communities throughout our country. United Garden Homes Incorporated is a neighborhood association-based nonprofit organization committed to supporting individuals and families to see beyond their current situation by way of education in mental health, substance misuse, and violence prevention, as well as with the utilization of resource advocacy to empower and promote healing in our community. For more information, contact United Garden Homes Incorporated at 414-554-5538 or via email at info@ughinc.org.
2024 Soul Stirring Gospel Easter Band, March 31st, sponsored by the New Pitts Mortuary, located at 2031 West on Capitol Drive. Pick your tickets at 45 in advance, 50 at the door. On my way home, the Captain Spirituals. Oh, the gospel for he's blessing me. I feel it in my feet right now. Baby, you better meet me there. Brunch at 1, the show begins at 4 p.m. The fabulous Lucky Brothers, my soul is a witness. I feel it down on the inside. Be right there at Abundant Faith place located at 7830 West Good Hope Road. All Willie Rogers. We're going to a meeting on that day. I see them marching down the street. Come on in from everywhere, northwest, south. It's going down. There's a leak in this old building, Bishop Neil Robertson, and my soul has got to move. Don't you miss it. Call the New Pitts Mortuary 414-447-6000. It's going down at the Soul Stirring Gospel Easter Bash. Oh, I gotta stop right there, Brian. Back in top, my feet got light. I feel myself flying right about now. Come on now, you don't want to miss it. Be right there in the house. It's going down. Come on now, Tiffany Terry. Everybody know he's my friend. Oh, you don't want to miss it. You be right there. That Soul Stirring Gospel Easter Bash. That food is going to be yummy, yummy, yummy. I'll tell you, come on now, Reverend R.L. Bush and the Revived Son. Put the weight on me. Oh, not that kind of weight, because that food gonna be so stuffed. Pick your tickets up at the New Pitts Mortuary.
Like anybody, I would like to live. I just want to do God's will.
You're listening to WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee. Community Voice with your host Keith Parris and Devon Jones, DJ The Protege.
All right, welcome back to Community Voice. Caller, we thank you for your patience. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning, you guys. Let me chime in a little bit on some of the things you guys were talking about. You asked if we watched a program last night, State of the Union. And at first I wasn't going to watch it, so I missed the beginning. I probably came in like a half an hour later. I didn't see anything weak about the man at all when I watched the program. He looked like he knew what he was talking about. Ain't no look like he knew what he was talking about. Everything he said was true. If you go and look up, and I did some research on this, and I think DJ is correct about this, Keith, it's greed. It's nothing but total greed. Go and look at profit margins over the last couple of years. Usually a company's profit margin was like 3 to 5, 6%. If you go and look at the profit margins now, they're anywhere from 10 to 15%. So they're raising the prices to gouge you. And one of the things I didn't understand, I don't know if you watched the rebuttal last night, but then she was talking about how he didn't have a grasp on things. Now, everybody could probably say he probably ain't bought groceries or pump gas in years, but I bet you he has done it before in his life. Do you think 45 has ever purchased groceries? Do you think 45 has ever pumped gas? So if anybody that don't know, it's him.
Yeah.
And so these companies are just being greedy. And when you
Always been greedy though. I mean, greed is,
Yeah, but you can't
greed
just
is
dismiss
good.
it like that.
Oh,
Like, no, that's wrong because they be raising prices on us, and then we because of inflation. Like they just say stuff to, and we just supposed to go with because it was more money in the society, and like no.
Well, that's
I'm trying to hear that.
That's well, you got to hear it because it's an academic. It's kind of an academic why it's happening.
No,
greed is always
and
undergirded
totally
everything in
agree
this
with you.
country. So
now, this is from somebody. Now, Keith, when you say your job, you're expert at your job. Like I said, I worked in retail, managing and all that for over 30 years, so I know what I'm talking about. Okay, and so just like he said yesterday, we're getting less, but we're paying more.
Right.
So if I'm paying you $7.50 an hour, and now I'm paying you $15 an hour, where am I going to get that money at?
Right.
I got to get it back from the consumer.
Exactly.
Correct.
Right.
Okay, so that's why they're gouging. So it's going to offset. But it was a lady that I think might have came on one of y'all shows. Or I forgot where I read it. Might have been one of y'all shows. She said because of the cost of eggs and stuff went up, she had to pay a little higher price, right? But the difference that she made, she didn't make the difference. That she made up the difference to make the same amount of money.
Right.
She raised the prices up 3 times higher. So that is greed, Keith. So
I'm not saying this. No, I'm not saying it's not greed. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not disagreeing with you.
But you just sound like it is what it is. Like
no, I'm saying that. But if we understand the system, so let me give you. Right. No, I am. Inflation is if money supply grows too big relative to the size of an economy, the unit value of the currency diminishes. That's what inflation is. What causes inflation? So there's these causal factors. We haven't had high inflation in almost 20 years.
So you saying that all these people that rent got jacked up 2 or 3 times higher? That's because of what? Inflation?
It became because of demand. Because the landlords could.
I always look at stuff as common sense. Do it make sense? Just because all these people got money, my money shouldn't be diminished. Like that don't make sense. If you got money and we pay for something, it should be the same price, no matter how many people got money.
Should have been called the artificial stimulus check.
Yeah, like that. That don't make no type of sense. And then they raise.
It makes sense.
And no, that don't.
CENT. It does make sense.
And then they raise interest rates based off of that foolishness.
Right.
So essentially, people who have less money have to pay more, and they justify it because of education, because of some economist said that. That's BS. That don't make no sense. You got to undo your thinking with that. Just because they tell us, oh, this is this, we supposed to believe.
But it's an economic system, and you got to understand the economics. And I understand the emotional impact.
No. Supply and demand. Everybody
supply and demand
understands.
So here's a great example. There are going to be certain things that you only get so many of them.
Right.
Right. Why is that? Because of value. Because if I have less of it, the demand for it becomes greater. If I have more, if you flood the market, then the value of that thing drops. It's the same thing with money. Now you can get into all the causal factors, greed, corporate greed, of course. But what I'm saying is that there are some economic things that are out there. So we were supposed to go into a recession. We didn't. Right? I mean, people are ridiculous because anytime you have high inflation, what follows high inflation is usually recession. That has not happened. And so when we're kind of looking at the economy, I'm with you though. It does, you feel it in certain goods, you're feeling it. But this happened in 1981, 82, where we had the highest inflation rate we'd ever had in the country, more people working than any other time in the country. All right. And what they did, they rang in credit. So people who normally could not get credit, could not get credit. We saw that with the housing bubble. They expanded who could get credit to buy a house, and people were put into houses that they could not afford, right? And then when the economy tanked, we saw one of the highest foreclosure rates we've seen since the Great Depression. So it is the economy the emotional reaction. That's why people were adding more jobs, right?
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
So either party, the man that's in charge of either party, what does he have to do with that?
Nothing.
So they'll blame
nothing and something. But who are they going to blame? Who are they going to give credit to?
So let's say, for instance, when I go downtown the park, let's just say I had jury duty and I went down the park. How much you think I'm gonna pay to park downtown?
I think it's $12 a day now.
Okay, so if I go see a Bucks game and I pay to park at that same spot, how much I'm gonna park for the Bucks game?
You could pay based on the proximity to Five Serve. You're probably paying $20, $25. As you get closer to Five
If you get in the
Serve,
parking structure, though, that's 40.
Right, but what I'm saying is, as you get closer to Five Serve, doesn't the price of parking go up?
Yeah, but then it just depends on how they choose to market, because it's the same Bucks game, but depending on who they're playing, exactly, that 40 could be a 30 or a $20, just depending on the day. Which, again, to my point, that's BS. You're just changing the prices and stuff.
So why should I jack you? I'm
Right,
making the same amount of money, but so why should I charge you 2 or 3 times more?
Right,
because I'm greedy. Because I'm greedy.
But okay, so that's my whole point, Keith.
Right, and I'm agreeing with your point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree, but I'm saying, but we do have to have. We normally don't have it. Most Americans don't have, and I don't know if I'm in the position to do it, a more expansive understanding of how the economy works. And so what we do is, we know I get my check, I go out and I buy, I pay my bills, but there are factors out there that you and I don't control directly. We control indirectly. Like what are people talking about? Consumer confidence, for example. People are spending money. It's just what they can spend money on, right? So I hear you.
And that's one of the things, Keith, one of the things that I've done now, because when I go to the state fair or I go to Summerfest and stuff like that, a small bottle of Gatorade, guess how much you're paying for it?
Like $5.
Yep, $6. I can go to the grocery store and buy a whole 6-pack with that same amount of money.
How much do you pay for a bottle of water at a Bucks game?
I don't know, because I don't really. I eat before I go now because I refuse to get jacked like that.
Right. I mean, but you look at it, it's $5. It could be $5. That bottle of water.
The burger meal is $15 at the movie, $18, $22.
Oh, don't even talk about how they stick you up at the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
that's
God!
Why I go on cheap days. It was $5 Tuesdays. Now I think it's $6 Tuesdays.
The movies is like $30 now if you're going with somebody.
That's why I go on Tuesdays.
And they're trying to make up for all they lost in terms of people not coming in. So I guess
the point I'm trying to make is that, yes, Keith, that might drive it, but Keith, it's a whole lot of greed that's going in. When he talked about how you're going to start holding these companies accountable for that.
Well, good luck on that.
Right.
Because
the same companies is paying
the overcharges, campaign. Like if you owe a late fee now on your credit card where they used to get you for $30 and now they're only going to be able to get $8 for you, everybody should have been standing up for that. Everybody in that chamber should have been standing up for that. So I guess what I'm going at, to make the long story short, they complained that lady was making the rebuttals like they don't understand, but all the stuff he was talking about, making the rich pay their fair share and all that kind of stuff, the stuff he was talking about, to be fair across the board, then Republicans did not one stand up. But then she goes on the rebuttal after that and say he don't understand, but you paying less and you paying more and getting less. But he's trying to do something about that, but y'all don't want to help him out on that.
All right, and as it relates to, and I'm glad he called them out. So we had a border bill, we had an immigration bill.
Bring that up.
Yeah, and it was you.
Hey, I'm gonna get off and let somebody else.
All right, man, appreciate you. You taking a phone call from Donald Trump, and because Donald Trump has said this earlier, and people need to listen because folks all in their feelings. And I was just watching Fox talking about almost 20% of black people going to vote for Donald Trump. No. And what you do is you get in your Fox echo chamber and you find black people who want to be on TV, right? And then they'll sit up and say the ridiculous thing. And then I'm going to say those Negroes probably not even going to show up to vote. So that we can't go on the okie doke and hearing the propaganda that people put out there. As the late Joe Madison said, you got to listen with a third ear.
It's all propaganda.
Yeah, well,
they're trying to get your vote.
Right. Well, be mindful. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
To all of you gentlemen. You know something? It just boils down to this: critical thinking, and get out of your own head. Number one, use common sense and look at what's going on. Biden might be up in age, but what does he do? He's done a lot of good things. He's trying to reduce the, number one, instead of getting charged for your credit card late fees, $35 and $32, he's trying to bring it down to $8. So I'm saying, until you really look at the facts of what's going on, you're going to be in the dark. Don't look at what you think and what they taught you in school and what they did here and what they doing there. And those grocery stores change their prices at night, okay? Those are greedy people that are trying to get ahead and don't give a hoots about you. Walk through the aisle. It's ridiculous, some of the prices of stuff that you only paying $1.98 before. Now it's 3 something, 4 something, 5 something. And then, listen, it's the old adage, if you're in charge of the shift, you're going to get blamed for everything that goes on. Got that. But look at what's happening in our country. Look at the difference that things make. And I want to bring up another point. I went to my nephew's funeral yesterday, Nigel Robert Boone. 21-year-old shot foolishly because of someone gunfiring all over the place. If we want to make a difference, the community leaders and people that are in the clergy, go to those funerals and be there to put your hand around those young people and console them so that they not fired out in the wrong direction and guide them in the right way. And I'm trying to tell them, number one, if you're 18, get out there and vote. And don't listen to the foolishness that other people are trying to put in your head. And look at the young people that are younger than Biden. Look what they're doing to us. Taking away affirmative action. Taking away inclusion. And I mean, come on. If we were to have a war right now, who would I be looking for you to have my back? You have torn this country up, the Republican Party, so bad that it's ridiculous. And Nikki Haley, her kids are looking at her like, you wonder why our kids are mentally ill? Oh, he's not fit to be president. But if he wins, I'm going to go with the party. Where's the logic in that? You could be my best friend. But if you start changing and going to the left a little bit too far from me, I'm saying, okay, I'll catch you a little bit later. I don't have to make no announcements, but I'm not following you into the hole. And we tell our kids all the time, run with good people. Birds of a feather flock together. And when we're on air, it seems strange to me. I don't know who's pulling in what direction. Oh, and up there on North Avenue, they got black faces all over the GOP headquarters there. People, don't be fooled, okay? This man is not for you, never has been for anybody that's brown. And if you really use the logic, he's not for nobody but himself. We can make the wrong choice if we want to, and we will all suffer the consequences. You guys have a blessed day.
You as well. Thank you.
Chris Brown, they ain't loyal.
Yeah, but Biden ain't for nobody either.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
We are talking about crime in America, and she just talked about her nephew passing away to crime. The guy in the office is the legislator and the author of the crime bill. We often talk about men not being in schools, not being in families. The crime bill had a little bit to do with that. There are a number of things that have contributed to negativity in the world, and Biden was in office supporting a number of those things, especially when it came to the detriment of people that look like me, you, Keon, and Carvey.
So in fairness to Joe Biden, there were black people who were very supportive
You
of
say
that crime
plenty
bill.
of times.
Because it's true.
We know
so
that already.
us trying to bring up something from 30 years ago and
but
say,
but it's still active. Like you say it as if the crime bill was. No, the crime bill is.
right.
And so to say that, oh, he's for us more or less, no, they both not really for us. Like, let's just be
Well,
honest.
maybe you need to define what for us is.
Define it. If a president is for diversity and inclusion, that should not be legislated against. And if a
So Biden
president
is against DEI.
is he striking stuff down with his executive order?
He can do what he can do in terms of
He-
DEI
he
in
has
the
a-
executive branch.
He has executive order though, so he can use that power to
and they're still doing
with some
DEI,
legislation.
as I understand it. Donald Trump did an executive order to end DEI, particularly at the Pentagon in the Defense Department. Okay, I think that now is not the case. They're still doing DEI in the executive branch. It is legislatures who are coming out saying you shouldn't do DEI because they're playing to the base.
Right.
And so that's not Joe Biden's fault. I mean, that people are coming out. He can do what he can do, but he only has executive action. The legislature and the courts, they're the ones who also are, because we have that
Supreme
three-part
Court,
government.
right?
And so, yeah, and I'm not saying that Joe Biden is perfect. I'm not making that argument. I think that we're in a situation where who's going to be best for America, Donald Trump or Joe Biden? Those are our choices. We don't have any other choices. The other choice you have then is to say, I won't vote for either one of them. And that means that one of them are going to get in, depending on who's not voting.
And like I said, we talked about this in 2016 when I felt this way. It was Hillary and Trump. And then in 2020, we were swarmed with anybody but Trump, right?
Yes.
And I fell into that trap. I'm not falling into that trap again.
It's an adult decision, man.
Right. Like I said, I'm not falling into that trap again.
Okay. Well, I think if you just sit up and weigh who would be better for the country, that should probably be, not for me to say, but that should be the metrics. Who is going to be better for America? And here's the thing that we have that we normally don't have. You have two administrations you can compare, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because Trump was president, and so we can look at what happened. Trump benefited from Obama. That economy improvement had everything to do with what was started under Obama.
Right.
And then he took full credit for it and did everything he could to try to wreck it. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning to you, Mr. Parris.
Good morning, brother.
And then, yes, sir. Thank you for taking my call. Assalamu alaikum to you, brothers. I can't believe I got tongue twisted with giving the greeting. Listening to you all, excuse me, talking about what you all are talking about. There were two things that kind of stood out for me when people were making comments regarding age and trying to make a distinction between the two of these Gentile Caucasians. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that Donald Trump represented the rise of the Gentile Caucasian because he's not Jewish. And I think that Mr. Biden is also non-Jewish. So he's a Gentile Caucasian as well. And then the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan also stated or mentioned that when Satan begins to cast out Satan, that their kingdom cannot stand, and so the difference, I think, that is very glaring if you look at it. And again, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this about Donald Trump. And he said that Donald Trump would drive America or take America to hell in a rocket ship. And I said, not that I'm, the equivalent, but I said that he would take America off the cliff in an uncontrolled bus. And here we are. If people would think about this, Donald Trump, as for me, gives me the impression that as he did when those people were attacking their sanctuary, which they consider holy, like a holy tabernacle or something like that. He sat and watched when Donald Trump's own vice president, when those people were standing out there calling to hang him. Donald Trump gives me the impression that he is the mindset that he would let the world burn if he could not have any influence over it. And so if you are of that mindset, you are of a satanic disposition, because that means that you are so overwhelmed of yourself. You are so self-conceited, consumed, absorbed, narcissistic. There are not enough words that can apply to how demonic you are with your self perception and the grandiose that you think of yourself. All in all, Donald Trump is going to sit in the White House and let World War III manifest. And he's of the mindset, as it is, that if he can't have it, then to hell with it all.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, sir.
You speak a lot of times and you believe in a prophecy. So World War III is going to happen anyway. Whether
Armageddon has already started. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan gave an address about that. So I'm completely aware where we are. I know where we are.
So do you think that you voting for Trump or Biden, you think that's going to speed it up?
I think this. Here's the distinction. Donald Trump is going to excel the war of Armageddon. I don't know what Joe Biden has in his mind, but I'm going with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I know what time it is, what must be done, and what I must do.
You know what's
to see the hereafter.
I'm going to do this hopefully in as objective as I can be, because I know people might have a response. We were talking about older people in leadership. Jesse Jackson just stepped down. He's 84, 85.
Mm-hmm.
Louis Farrakhan is 90 years old.
Damn, he that old?
My point is,
he's 90?
He's 90. We have to balance between youth and age, and to take into account. So the fact that there's only a 3-year difference between Donald Trump and Joe Biden in age makes Donald Trump an old man, right? But people have been able to, because he's been very conscious of, one, how he walks, making sure that they don't see him. And he has a different gait than Biden does. So now it becomes, because for a lot of people, politics is perception. It's not based in what I heard people talk about, common sense, or that we're going in and we're being objectively doing research to see then this is how I should vote for a particular candidate. It's based on how we emotionally respond to that candidate. Okay. When you talk about Kennedy, and everybody talks about his charisma, right? He was photogenic. So there are a lot of people that's attractive. It really is attractive. The problem with that is that you can look at someone who can look very good and have substance deficit, right? That stylistically they're on point. But once you get past the style, you find a much substance there. You're listening to Community Voice. Caller, I see you. I want you to be patient. Hang on to right after the break. We'll be right back.
Come savor the flavors of Pepper Pot Jamaican cuisine, located at 2215 North MLK Drive. Dive into our lunch menu packed with mouth-watering starters like our famous Pepper Pot jerk rolls, refreshing salads, and signature rice bowls, bursting with Caribbean flair. But the fun doesn't stop there. Join us for our happy hour from 5 until 8 p.m. every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, featuring irresistible food and drink specials. Don't miss out on the ultimate Jamaican dining experience at Pepper Pot, where you come hungry and you leave happy. For more information, please call 414-509-5206.
Are you and your loved one looking for home health care? Well, look no further. Eternal Love LLC is your trusted partner for personal care services. Their team understands the importance of providing quality and compassionate non-medical assistance. They provide options with no out-of-pocket costs to you, and they even come to your home at your convenience. To get signed up, you can visit their website at eternallovellc.com or give them a call at 262-933-4020. That's 262-933-4020. Eternal Love LLC, providing compassionate care right at home.
Carter's Creations, when quality and service matters for any occasion. Sometimes you just want to send a floral arrangement for a get well, anniversary, birthday, or I messed up, or just because. Carter's Creations at 1727 West Hampton Avenue is the place you need to call. So call them today at 414-265-1727 or visit them online at carterscreations.com. Carter's Creations has been in business for over 30 years. Therefore, you know they know what they're doing. They also specialize in funerals as well. So when you need that special floral arrangement, think of Carter's Creations, when quality and service matters.
If you're looking for mouth-watering eats and delectable treats, look no further. Eat local and visit the Sherman Phoenix today, where you can find everything from delicious organic wings and smoked barbecue to satisfyingly seasoned vegan food to sweet, buttery, made-to-order desserts. The Sherman Phoenix is also home to a day bar, serving mixed, frozen, and tropical drinks. Experience the Sherman Phoenix effect at 3536 West Fond du Lac Avenue, open Tuesday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Visit theshermanphoenix.com to learn more.
Hey, this is Chris Heavy Levy. I'm back. And I'm inviting you to join me every Saturday afternoon starting at 2 for the Backtracks and More show, where you'll hear and this. How about all this and more happening right here on 860 WNOV and 106.5 FM Saturday afternoon from 2 until 6. Remember, tell a friend.
WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee. Now back to Community Village with your host Keith Parris and Devon Jones, DJ The Protege.
Welcome back to Community Voice Caller. We thank you for your patience. Welcome to the program.
Man, I get that phone. Yeah, hey, how you doing, big brother?
Good morning.
What's happening, brother?
Hey, good morning. Hey, brother, you know something, DJ, you said something this morning, man. I don't know if you've been listening to me or you've been doing some research on your phone.
Snap.
But hold on. Or maybe you've been doing some research on your own, brother. And you're 100% right that the crime bill has not went away. There was nothing mentioned about redacting that, getting rid of that, repealing that law, that HEFCA and the HIDA law. HEFCA is everybody is actually penalized under that in certain areas, in certain high money areas. When you go in to get you a what do you call it, a money order, anything over $3,000, $3,500, they want you to fill out an IRS form. That's all in that crime bill, brother. See, they started to look in, and that's in the high intense drug areas. That HEFCA, it's called HEFCA. That goes along with HIDA. HIDA is the drug, a high intense drug area that's only in major cities. But HEFCA, everybody suffers under that one because now every time you get ready to go buy something, if it's over $3,500, they want you to fill out a IRS form. They want to send it to the IRS. You go to your bank. If your bank is in that map. So you're right about that. And then when I hear other people talking and running their mouth, it just bothers me, man. When you talk about a Joe Biden getting up there. Now Christopher was right about something, and I don't give him kudos that much. Donald Trump is narcissist, and he could be dangerous when it comes down to World War. But at the same time, hey, man, I'd rather burn with the planet than to watch what these people doing, man. They're taking over and coming into this country and pushing narratives through all kind of, through actually civil rights movements, our civil liberties as black people. They're pushing their agendas. Man, before I see them people.
Dang.
Look at God.
That's crazy how it just.
Hey, man.
Ain't nobody touch nothing either.
Man.
He must have been so filled with the spirit that it just. That it just went off like that. We're going to get to the movie. Call it. Thank you for your patience. You're on there.
Hello.
I found another phone.
No, this is oh
no, this ain't Beach.
No,
this ain't.
Several already on it.
No, this ain't.
What's happening, brother?
Well, all is well. All is well. Let me say a couple different things. You know, when it comes to Donald Trump, if you look at all the laws that have been put in place, that were basically made to help black people or put black people in a position where the playing field was being leveled, that was a bunch of that was just erased under Donald Trump and under the atmosphere that he set to make the soil fertile for that to continue to happen. When you start debating all the policies and that they all put in, all of them do some good stuff. All of them do some bad. But Donald Trump, if you just look at all the people that's around that man that say he ain't no good. When all your friends start saying you ain't no good, you really ain't. When all your friends start going to jail and you don't, just on the common sense side, I'm saying clearly, you pick your own friends. All those people that were in his cabinet that resigned, left and say, look, this man ain't doodle. Y'all do not want him here. He is a problem. I mean, like you heard him, like we all heard the man, like basically placing an order for 11,780 votes.
Mhm.
And people so foolish that they'll say, well, no, that's not what he was doing. Stop it, man. We done all did wrong. If you ever did any wrong, you understand how wrong go. I done did there. I know what that is. I know what that is. He was placing an order like somebody was placing an order for some bricks or something.
He said, all I need. And then when he started
so-
off with, all I need is.
So I mean, like, it's sad that, you know, like if you just let history be your teacher and you look at the way we all feel right now about Jimmy Carter. I remember that exact same sentiment that's going on. That exact same sentiment that's going on now about Joe Biden is the same sentiment that was going on about Jimmy Carter, and we ended up getting Ronald Reagan, Reaganomics, in the biggest deficit that we ever had in the history of the world.
And one of some of the worst drug laws. They happened.
Yeah, I mean, I was in college working at Patrick Cudahy at the time, and it was amazing to me. All those black people saying, "Well, we getting rid of him. We getting rid of him. We getting rid of him. We finna vote for Reagan." It's the exact same thing I'm hearing right now. After y'all just got through watching what Donald Trump did on an ongoing basis, like basically saying, "Damn you niggas," on a regular basis. That's basically what he said. If y'all drive down the street tomorrow and see 4 black dudes standing on the corner with their fist held up, y'all know that means black power. What y'all think that means when Donald Trump fist be up all the time?
I don't know.
My pastor would say I can't get no talk back up in here.
Oh, because we know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's
it's
interesting that you talk about the Jimmy Carter piece, because remember I was talking about the inflation. Jimmy Carter got hit with inflation at the end of the 70s, and then we get
Nixon.
From Nixon, and then you know we
And
talk
Gerald
about the
Ford.
number of people that worked for Nixon that went to prison. They went to prison. So you can be blinded. You're right. You can be blinded by it. And I think the other piece that we're not talking about is power. What people will do for power.
Right.
You know, I mean,
we were talking about that earlier, though.
Yeah, I mean, you give up a whole lot for your perception of what gives you power. Power is attractive. I mean, who wouldn't want power? I want power. I mean, you know, so if you say I don't want, yeah, you want power. And when people do, they will sell their souls for power.
I mean, he just, I mean, it is just, it's nothing. I mean, like the things that Donald Trump did that was good. He came in the table was said when Barack Obama left, we had never done better at nothing than we're doing when he left. Some of those things certainly continued, you know, for Donald Trump. But look at the situation that it is like shortly right after him, because you know, like he knocked all the legs off from under the table, or he sawed them in half. So it was weakened. So, you know, that's kind of a lot of what we sitting there now is the mess that Donald Trump made. It take a while to get the boat turned in the right direction. But it's amazing to me how many intelligent black people say, I wouldn't vote for Joe Biden, and the choice is Donald Trump, and you saying that you would vote for him after you just got through watching this man really again on a regular basis. Say, damn you niggas.
Well, you know, why do good girls want bad boys?
For the thrill.
You know, so
they'll tell you.
Yeah, I mean,
but can they really explain why they want Trump? I don't think so.
I don't think. Well, it'd be hard to substantively say why you like Trump. There's certain now. Here's the other piece of it.
No. You could. It's not.
But here's
it's not hard to say why you like anything. Why you would vote for Trump ain't got nothing to do with like.
Shout out to brother Nate Luckett and the good folks there at New Pitts Mortuary. Good morning, folks.
Good morning.
Good morning. No, I think
when you said substantively,
right?
So
let me do this.
Substance.
Here's something that Donald Trump
usually don't go together.
That Donald Trump substantively did. He changed the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a negative for many of us, but he changed the Supreme Court.
But he changed the Supreme Court because of the Senate
right.
and because of the House.
And he happened to be president
right
at the time.
So that work was done before him. You know, because when Obama was trying to do it, they wasn't going for that.
Exactly. Of course.
So, like the caller was talking about with history, we got to know history, which he brought up a really good point with the Jimmy Carter piece.
Oh, the Jimmy Carter. And now we look back and we go, dude, he wasn't a bad president.
Maybe he wasn't
Right.
that
Bush
bad.
wasn't a bad president now. The second one.
I'm never gonna say that. Oh,
No, in comparison, everybody wish they had him
you
now.
even
Donald
said
Trump, maybe.
right.
To
You
Donald
even
Trump.
said in
But
comparison
George
to
W.
him.
Bush.
Yeah,
oh my
but-
God, the stuff that happened under him.
Oh, yeah, but then,
But even you said in comparison to him, maybe we would want him.
but even like
Right.
this, who can substance? What's the word, Keith?
Substantively.
There you go, DJ. You got the lips for it.
You got a pretty mouth.
Come on now.
Oh, that
You wildin'. You wildin', bro. You wildin'. We ain't
That's
even
a
on
line from a movie, brother.
We
That's
ain't
a
even
line from a movie.
Hey, we ain't
You
even on
got a
pause
pretty-
time, but that's a pause, fam. I don't even do pause.
So they can tell you why they like Trump with that, but at the same time, you don't accept it.
Right.
So that's why they don't. Anybody can tell you why, but then they got to be crazy and stupid. You know, listen, he not you. Just like people telling you is greed, and you like, but no, it's not. They want Trump. No, you don't. So you're gonna always be like, what the hell is
Oh, they
wrong
want
with you?
Trump. They want Trump.
Yeah,
but
so
that doesn't mean
the numbers tell you the people that ain't talking want him because they know not to talk to you about it. Just go and do it.
Okay, well, go on and do it.
They doing it.
And you do it at your own peril.
They doing
Caller,
it.
welcome to your
And like
program.
you with the folks that think it's greed, it may not be their own peril to them. They may be comfortable where they
That's
at
the
and with
great
what's
thing
coming.
about America.
Amen.
Freedom.
Amen.
Caller,
welcome
you're
to
on there.
You did it.
Caller, you're on there.
Gentlemen.
Good morning.
So this is the thing that, especially with this last caller, that really, really infuriates me is that these people swear they're educated, but don't realize that parties serve the same master. It's more prevalent than anything. 90 people won't do this. If you looked at the donors remember when Romney and Barack Obama was running? Donors were exactly the same. Be like, oh, well, this candidate's better because of this, and the third. I wish some black people would really wake up and just look, just not even on a national level. Look at your city. You've been doing the same thing, voting the same way in years. Really change.
You breaking up a little bit.
Maybe some things have changed, but things have small incremental changes. But on the grander scale, the things are still the same. They were like, oh, well, Trump's the boogie. Man, stop acting like Trump's the boogeyman. Trump is he was the candidate that said the quiet part out loud. Point. Yeah.
You keep
We
breaking
want to
up.
go get the oil.
You got us on speaker or something?
Speaker.
You breaking up like we hear bits and pieces of your point. You on there?
All right, yeah. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay, so, for example, Trump said the quiet part out loud when it came to Syria. Oh, we're going to get the oil. That's what he wanted to do. So, they're like, nah, you can't say that. Or you shouldn't say that. And so, that's the thing that, if anything, I'll say I respect about the man. Because you say the quiet part out loud, and everybody else, and we want to be subtle and say all these other different things. The world is in peril right now. I mean, you're saying a guy that have his mental faculties are not there, and then you got the Sarah Palin of the left as a VP, and then say, hey, man, continue to go this way. Interest rates are out the roof. People have less take home than they used to have, and then it's like, yeah, let's keep doing the same exact thing. And then
So you don't think
like,
Kamala Harris is more educated than Sarah Palin?
It doesn't matter about education. She's still a cackling hee-haw when it comes to serious issues. When she can't answer a question, she's cackling. I don't need somebody to be sitting there cackling when they can't answer a question. I need somebody that's going to be educated on the issue.
Somebody to lie about it when they can't answer the question.
They all lie about it.
No, but I'm asking you: is that your preference?
They all lie about it.
Is that your preference?
I'd rather somebody. This is the thing about. I would say the thing about the South and then the Midwest. Y'all like here, in the South, We like overt racism because we know not to mess with them people. Here, y'all like covert. Y'all are cool handling with the people that are covert racist, and it's just like, why do you accept that? I don't understand that here about the Midwest. I don't love that here. So I like a person that's gonna sit here and say the quiet part are loud.
Boy, what you want?
I'm not a Trump supporter at all, by far. They both serve the same master when it boils down to it. So and you can say, oh, well,
right now? Did you vote for Obama?
I did. I was lost in the sauce in 2008.
Okay.
I fell for it.
Okay.
After that,
2012?
I woke up.
You voted for him in 2012?
No, I did not. Mickey Mouse was the person I voted for. Because then I realized they all serve the same masters.
At some point, man.
Because then that's when I was just like, man, I'm like, dude, what are we doing here? You're doing the same thing that Bush did, but we didn't like Bush. You kept some majority of Bush's cabinet, but we hated Bush. So how is that any different? Wake up, man.
Who kept the majority of Bush's
cabinet?
That didn't happen.
Obama did.
Obama brought in his own.
Yes, he did. And Trump did. Trump did the same exact.
Who did he keep from George Bush?
Mr. Summers.
Who?
Better yet.
But that's different. That is when Lawrence Summers.
That's not different. You bring in your own cabinet. That's not different.
Lawrence Summers was over the Federal Reserve. He serves a term that's overlapping. It's like the FBI director. They serve terms that are overlapping administrations. That's the only person. Lawrence Summers was the person who, and was he over the Fed then? So no, he didn't keep people. He brought in his own people.
No, you kept him. It doesn't matter about the overlapping term. If I want to go in and clear house from the last people, why would I keep them in there?
He didn't.
And so no different from you brought up the Supreme Court, right?
Right.
So when you brought up the Supreme Court, like, oh well, this changed. They all serve the same people, man. Anytime they have an opportunity to give power back to the people, they give it to the corporations. So it doesn't matter who sits up there, left leaning or right leaning. They all do the same thing. So I'm like, I don't care about the symbolism. Y'all be like, oh well, we got a black Supreme Court justice, Ketanji Brown. What did she do when she wasn't a justice? When she had the opportunity to go against Lockheed Martin, when the case was already settled for the black man that had the nooses on his desk and the dude that came in and started shooting at black people. She was the one that overturned that. But, black representation. Come on, man.
All right, bro.
Let's wake up.
All right. Caller, welcome to the program.
Thank you again, Mr. Parris. This is what I forgot to add, and I agree with that brother who just called. And to add on to that, Ketanji Brown has a Caucasian mate. But here's another thing
he's a cool dude though. That dude he got some game.
Yes, sir. Here's another thing that we should consider with regard to the two of the Gentiles fighting for the ultimate place in their society is this. With Mr. Trump, he is, more blatant, more callous, and Mr. Biden, because I'm not for either one of them. I want people to understand that with clarion clarity, and that's like duplicitous in stating that Mr. Biden and Mr. Trump are all one and the same. And to make a distinction between Beelzebub and his brother is really ridiculous. Had we been more concerned with our own progress as a people over the umpteen not thousands, but over such a long period of time, Black people we have discounted our own selves, and it has been detrimental to our forward momentum. And neither one of these people are going to be sufficient for us. Oh, here it is. What Donald Trump represents is this. Donald Trump is going to produce and exact so much pain on black people in our illusory reality, whereas we're going to go and move and do things for ourselves. But Mr. Biden is going to continue to give black people the illusion of inclusion in a white supremacist based society. Thank you.
Caller, welcome to the pro. We'll get to it after the break, DJ. All right. You didn't want to do it. Now you want to do it. No. You listen to Community Voice. Can I see you in the kitchen? No, you listen to Community Voice. I see you in the kitchen. We'll be right back.
Does owning a home seem out of reach? Let us help you outline the steps to get there. Join Columbia Savings and Loan Association and Port Washington State Bank for one of our home buying seminars on Friday, March 15th at 12 p.m. and 5 p.m. Learn about home buying steps for success, how banks look at credit, and discover grants and programs that could be available to you. Seating is limited. Register now at www.pwse.bank/seminar. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS IDs 460-289 and 810969.
Easter and prom is here, and graduation is near. Stop by Nick Avani's, where they have a large variety of suits, blazers, and shoes to get you right for that special day. You already know Nick Avani has the $100 hookup. You can get a suit, shirt, tie, and shoes, all for just $100. They're open 7 days a week with an on-site tailor. Nick Avani's on the second floor of the Mayfair Mall across from the movie theater. It's the place to shop for men.
Black history is something to appreciate, celebrate, and participate. Play Ode is a mobile app that streams America's best Black-owned radio stations and podcasts from across the country. ODE stands for Our Digital Entertainment. Play Ode features music and entertainment for us and by us. Listen to WNOV The Voice Milwaukee on the Play Ode app. Elevate your radio listening and participate in supporting Black radio. Download PLAYODE or log on to odeaudio.com for info and insight.
Do you love Jamaican food? Well, visit Fireside Jamaican Cuisine new location at 7434 West Capitol Drive. Stop in for your Jamaican fix. Jerk chicken, oxtails, jerk egg rolls, and more. Daily specials will be available along with the original menu items from the previous Villa Avenue location. Business hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sundays, 12 p.m. to 8. For more information, please call 414-509-5579. 414-509-5579.
Milwaukee. Guess who's back? It's your man, Kevin Buchanan. Inviting you to join me each and every Friday night for the Friday Night Jukebox Party from 9 p.m. till midnight. I'll hit you with a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and of course, some of this. Each and every Friday night, it's the Friday Night Jukebox Party. From 9 p.m. to midnight, join yours truly, Kevin Buchanan, exclusively right here on 860 AM and 106.5 FM. WNOV, The Voice. You're listening to WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee. Now back to Community Voice with your host Keith Parris and Devon Jones, DJ The Protege. You're listening to WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.
that'll help. Hey, welcome back.
Oh, you switch mics. That's why.
Yeah, I'm over
How
here.
you gonna switch the camera?
I'm already in the He a man of many things, man. Let him
brother
know,
can
Carter.
multitask, man.
Yeah, he a man of many things.
You're not the only gifted and talented one in
Y'all
this
know I
planet,
talk to him,
man.
nigga. You the ones that don't know.
He the only gifted and talented one.
No,
All right.
you the only genius.
I knew he was.
That's true. That is true.
I went to a school full of them.
I
A
knew
lot
he was
of
the
them are
man
in office.
when he had me follow him. He had them thotties on. I was like, oh, look at Corey. He got him.
Them thotties on.
All right. So we have Prince Carvey here with us, joining us. We're going to switch gears, y'all, because it's Friday. We need to have a little fun on Fridays, right? Get all down, talk about Donald Trump. All right. These are movies that we think young Prince Carvey should see. So the phone lines are open. If our list is not inclusive, you call in some movies that you think young Carvey should see. All right.
Full historical, background information. This started because we used to have a young lady on, Miss Kanita Hickman from
Katira.
And her back card was basically revoked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, Thanksgiving dinner did it. For her.
Yeah, she could only bring napkins and
Right,
stuff.
because
for
she bring healthy
dinner.
food to Thanksgiving dinner. What's wrong with that?
So it was then we just get the name of movies, and she hasn't we was going in a row where she ain't seen them.
Right.
They get to Color Purple. Now it flips on me.
Guess who hadn't seen that one?
I never even wanted to see Color Purple. So this was going on for about maybe a year and a half.
Right.
People, we could be talking about food and they'll still come back. Fam, you need to see Color Purple. You know what I'm saying? So eventually I saw Color Purple with Keon. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was funny because there was some young guys in the house and they was like, oh yeah, I see that.
You're the only one that had, right?
I almost fell asleep on it. How long a movie
Did you see
is?
the original or the
original? Yes. There you go. So number one on my list is The Color Purple, the original. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, wait. Is that the one when she was trying to shave his neck?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah,
and, okay. All right. So you. All right.
And he remembers scenes.
He was trying to shave Mister.
Yeah, trying to shave
She was gonna
Mister.
shave
All right.
Mister.
So he has seen The Color Purple. All right, yours.
My number one is Harlem Nights.
You have seen Harlem Nights?
Nah. And another thing, I'm not really good with titles, so I've probably seen it.
Eddie Murphy, Red Fox. You would know Della Reese. He 18,
Arsenio
man.
Hall.
That movie is like 30
he shot
years
the
old.
old lady in the pinky
In
toe.
the pinky toe, Della Reese.
All right. Because you're gonna walk out with this list.
All right.
We're gonna give you the
Oh,
list. All
watch
right.
Harlem Night first.
All right. I know you haven't seen this one. The Mac.
The Mac.
I don't know if we should be letting them see because it's about pimping.
It's not about pimping.
It is about pimping.
It's about the game. You the one fell into pimping because of it.
He was pimping.
No, it's about the troubles of the game and staying out the game. It wasn't about
Carol
pimping.
Speed was his bottom.
That ain't what you. That's
Yeah,
not the whole
that's
point.
That's just what's going on.
That's what Curtis Mayfield said. The soundtrack wasn't for that. That's what they took out of
He
it.
didn't do the soundtrack for that.
I mean,
I don't know. Curtis.
oh, the Mac, Willie Hutch.
Willie Hutch.
But same difference. It was about the hardships. They both end up not pimping at the end of it.
He was pimping in the movie.
He wasn't pimping at the end of it.
What you got, man? Because
You
he
know
saw
that
the light.
Mama got killed.
Right, Mama got killed by the police.
No,
Not Pretty Tony.
his mama didn't get killed. His mama died.
Yeah, no. The cops killed her in the hospital. Remember, he
that's
killed her.
right.
She was in the hospital.
right.
He thought Pretty Tony did it.
Yeah,
That's when he blew up Pretty Tony.
Richard Pryor got killed.
Richard Pryor got killed.
You'll notice that our list is a little bit, his a little bit older, mine's a little younger.
Let's see.
My next one is Coming to America.
Oh yeah, I seen it.
Which one?
I believe the first one.
All right, good job.
She's your queen to be.
Don't watch the second one. It's garbage.
It's great.
No, you got to. No. The trailer is great.
Right.
The trailer is outstanding in the second one, but the movie's awful.
That movie not bad.
That movie
This
was
nigga
awful.
think Pootie
Is
Tang
that the one when they
What?
You better not have Pootie Tang on that list.
It ain't on
We
there.
already told him about Pootie Tang. He
You ever
not
seen
watching.
Pootie Tang?
No.
No,
You want me to put it on the list?
Yeah, I
We'll
gotta
put
check
Pootie
that
Tang.
out.
You gotta
Didn't
you do
Quad
gotta
just tell
watch
you
it.
not to watch that?
Oh, Quad like Pootie Tang.
Nobody likes Pootie Tang.
I
but
love
you.
Pootie Tang.
I gotta check that out, man.
You just
Me and
gotta
Chris
watch
Rock.
it for the cultural references.
Right.
You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
ridiculous movie, man. It's not supposed to make
But
sense.
it's
Right.
supposed to be done.
Right.
I went already.
No, you did. You did.
Come to America. He
Right.
just said you
Okay.
gotta
New Jack City. What?
Nino Brown?
Nino Brown?
Am I my brother's keeper?
I heard of that, but I promise you, I probably
Cancel
never
this. Buy me a new one.
Oh, never liked your pretty ass. Anyway. All right.
Yeah, you gotta see that. So I know that you ain't seen Boomerang.
Describe it.
So Halle Berry is in this movie. Robin Givens is in this movie. It's an Eddie Murphy movie.
You would know about the feet.
John
About
Withers,
the feet.
the feet, and you got to coordinate. You know what I'm saying? You got to coordinate.
Yeah,
Oh, and bang, bang.
Yeah.
Oh
bang,
no.
bang, bang.
Strong J.
Strong J.
Strong J.
Oh yeah. So you gotta see Boomerang.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta catch up.
Oh, it's mine. Any of the Fridays.
Oh yeah, all three.
You saw all three?
Yeah.
My man. My
I
man.
mean, he wouldn't be young if he ain't watched Fridays.
Okay.
So that's
It's about smoking.
Well, it started off about smoking,
Oh,
and then it got into everything else, man. By the time they got to the Christmas one, right? They
Right.
working jobs in the mall.
Right.
And that's where we got Money Mike.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't the only pimp. Who's the other pimp?
Magic Don Juan.
Who was the other pimp? Pinky.
Oh yeah.
Clifton Powell.
Right.
Pinky.
But Magic Don Juan was in there too.
Yeah. But it did three of them. You saw all three.
Yeah.
Bishop.
Yeah.
Who would y'all say played their role the best?
And which one?
On Friday. Any of the Fridays. Just name one person.
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams.
I'm gonna go Terry Crews.
John Witherspoon.
Oh.
Yeah, gotta go John Williams.
Mike Epps.
Hey,
Day.
when he
Day.
but on
Was
the
he the
first one-
funniest?
He was funny when she keyed that car.
Right.
Hey, on that first one,
It was funny when he was
Fam
trying to pull his
opened up
pants
that refrigerator. Hey, Pops went in on it. Every time I'm in the refrigerator. You in the refrigerator. Eating up all the he was going in.
Didn't have no milk for the cereal.
He said, man, you better put some water up in that.
Put some hot sauce on my burrito, baby.
Yeah.
You forgot the
Right.
Don't go in there for about 25 to 35 minutes.
Oh, when he was in there, he said, hey, Greg, come in here. He in there on the toilet. He like, man, I'll come back. I said, man, I smelled your for 22 years. You can smell mine
but
for
that was
5
first-
minutes.
That he did it, but then Peoples Hernandez did it in Shaft.
Did what?
Sat on the toilet talking to dude,
Right.
giving him the package. Peoples Hernandez.
My number 4 is The Best Man.
The Best Man. No.
None of them.
No.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
Oh,
The Best
Never
Man.
heard of it?
Never heard of it, man.
Wow. No, that's well, it probably ain't now, but when I was growing up, that was part of the culture.
Right.
The
I'm
Best
not
Man.
watching them again. I liked them. I'm not watching them a second time.
What's it about?
So it was about 4 or 5 friends, all working individuals. Morris Chestnut is in this movie. He is a football star. Tay Diggs is his best friend. They all college buddies. Nia Long is in there.
Slept with his girl.
Yep. So Morris Chestnut was a player.
Right.
Girl got wind of it. Actually, Tay Diggs actually hooked Morris Chestnut up with his soon-to-be wife.
Right.
Tay Diggs writes a book. Try to switch up the characters, whatever, but everybody know what's going on.
Right.
In the book, it's revealed that he sleeps with
His
his
girl.
girl.
Wow.
He's the best man, and he finds this out the day before his wedding.
And how did the wedding go, man?
It almost didn't happen.
They had sequels.
Yeah,
They had
and the
sequels.
last one was Best Man Christmas.
They just had them.
But they had a series. I haven't seen the series.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
All right. Cooley High.
Cooley High. No.
See, I haven't seen it either, but
what?
But I don't need to see it because
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I know everything that happened in the movie.
No, you don't. Put the cap on, man. Put the cap on, man. Put the cap on, man. Put the cap on. Coach Cheese. Coach Cheese.
I know what happened to Coach Cheese.
No, you got to watch the movie.
I have to see the
I
movie.
know what happened to Coach Cheese. I know
Write that
Coach
on your
Cheese.
list of
How
movies you need
So
to
how
see.
you not? I mean, what you mean?
Best soundtrack ever?
How you know what?
No, it ain't the best ever.
Because everybody, that was a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Cooley High was so
why would you
everybody
not
know
watch
about
Why
that.
you did not see it for such a phenomenon?
Because y'all didn't already spilled the story to
Oh,
me,
no,
man.
no, no.
You spilled the story for the color purple. You still
it's one
watched
thing
it.
to hear it. It's
Because
another
y'all,
thing to
because I
see
just
it.
wanted to not hear y'all mouth about
Hey,
it.
wait a minute. They spilled the story about the Montgomery brawl, but I still watched it.
Yeah, you had to watch it.
You had to watch
You had
it.
to see the
you
chair,
don't ever know
man.
how the chair swing until
Right,
the
until you
chair
see it.
swing. Bam,
Bam.
I always been that if they tell me such and such slap somebody, I don't need to see the video.
Right.
You didn't watch the video of
hilarious.
Chris Rock getting slapped by Will Smith?
The thing what happened is I was asleep,
What
woke up,
happened
got
was-
on Twitter, and was watching clips. A dog getting slapped. So I turned the TV on, and Will Smith, it's at the end of the Oscars now. Will Smith crying and stuff, talking to
Because he won an
Oh.
Oscar that night, didn't
yeah.
he?
And I'm like, dog on here crying. Did dude really just do this?
You're right. Yeah, that was
So,
a crazy night. All right.
My fifth
So you got Cooley High. All right.
My fifth is Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, man.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Good.
Tales from the Hood.
Nah.
No.
Wait, describe it.
Tales of the Hood is about these three gangbangers end up in a funeral home, and he does all these different stories. Clarence Williams III.
Nope.
Okay. David Allen Greer. Okay. All right.
It's your go. Oh no, you chose Tales in the Hood.
Yep.
My number 6 is Higher Learner.
Nope.
Yeah, you gotta watch that one.
No higher learning.
You know who has not aged gracefully?
Who?
Omar Epps.
He
I've
was
seen
funny
him.
looking then.
Who was
Yeah.
Omar Epps?
Omar Epps was
Juice.
I don't never say another
Juice.
man age gracefully.
I'm just, but it's a
Oh
visual,
yeah, because I'm gonna tell you,
it's a visual
I'ma tell you,
medium. You
'cause-
can't comment on it.
because
Man.
Louis
Don't
Gossett,
mean you love him.
because Louis Gossett and Morgan Freeman been old for 40
Oh,
years.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they age gracefully. They
Yeah.
look the exact same.
Yeah,
as they
because I'm
did.
thinking Morgan
You know
Freeman
who
got to be
aged
114.
Cookie from Empire. How do I say her name?
Taraji P.
Taraji.
P.
She
ain't
is
aging,
timeless.
though.
She look good.
She not aging.
She's not
though.
aging.
She ain't aging.
She ain't aging.
You wanna know what aging gracefully is?
What?
What's my girl from Good Times?
Oh,
She still look like Thelma. She still look like she
Bernadette
needed
Stanis.
the 70s.
No, she don't.
Yes, she does.
No, she
Yes,
don't.
she does. She look good.
And Jodie Watley.
I'm gonna tell you somebody else.
Now, when she was on Good Times, she was.
Felicia
nice.
Rashad.
Yeah.
Felicia Rashad.
Yeah, not Felicia Rashad age
She
gracefully.
looks-
Let me see. Let me check her out. I never.
I had
I
a,
know who that
Cosby.
is.
She's the mother in the Cosby Show.
I had,
never
I
saw
had the
Cosby?
biggest crush
I've
on
seen the Cosby Show, but I don't remember who.
She's
that
the
is.
mother.
The
I don't-
mom.
I don't
Claire
know.
Huxtable. You don't know
Claire
that?
Huxtable.
I didn't watch the Cosby Show day after
Dang,
day.
you got
I
it.
probably watched one
Don't
video.
nobody watch it
of
day
it.
after day. But no, Cosby's is funny.
I think
you'll
TV1
get a
is
lot
showing.
of cultural references from the Cosby's too.
All right.
But speaking of the Cosby's, my biggest crush was Lisa Bonet.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, Lisa Bonet though.
Oh yeah, she was my biggest crush.
Oh, but I love Zoe
Yeah,
Kravitz. I love her daughter. Zoe Kravitz has.
No, when you talk about the epitome of a woman,
Yeah.
Felicia Rashad was always that moniker.
Okay.
Crazy sister Debbie Allen.
Debbie
Mhm.
Allen, who was married to Norm Nixon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who did I have? Well, you just did.
I
Boys
did
and
Higher
Men?
Learning.
Higher Learning. Black Dynamite.
Nope.
Dynamite.
Nope.
They had a cartoon called Black Dynamite.
Okay.
Fences.
Fences. Nope.
Fences is a good movie. And just a historical background, August Wilson, who will be brought up in The Best Man Holiday.
Right.
He was a black playwright. I believe he wrote 10. So he wrote 10 playwrights. It's between 8 to 9 of them. I don't know the exact number.
Right.
One, what you would consider like picture of film of the year. If it was a movie, plays of the year awards, phenomenal. Fences was one of the ones that got a lot of critical acclaim. Denzel is in that movie. Viola Davis. They started it on Broadway. They brought it to Broadway first, and then
all of his.
And then they did the movie.
Right.
August Wilson passed away. But you know what I'm saying, just August Wilson plays are a very big deal.
You got
I did
Fences?
Fences.
You got one more.
Oh, you done?
Yeah.
Dang, you went through 10 that quick?
Sure did.
Okay. Number 8, my last one It's Malcolm X.
Nah, man. See what's crazy? It was one of these days. I'll tell you a story about Malcolm X. One of these days I was all, you know how you get that motivation out of nowhere, just thinking you just finna become the next motivational star in the world.
Right.
Man, I was at home. I'm feeling like that. I turned on Malcolm X. I fell asleep watching it.
It is
It's a long movie. Though.
It's a long movie.
It's a long movie.
Okay. All right, Carla.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie. Denzel Washington should have won an Academy Award for Malcolm X.
But just to hear the story about the making of the movie and all of the stuff that Spike Lee had to go through.
Spike Lee produced it. Yeah.
Usually when you see Denzel,
Spike.
Not all of it, but I would say about 1 in 3 movies, Denzel and Spike didn't hooked up.
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Yeah.
Nah. Damn, we gotta put that on the list.
Okay. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning. You're on there.
Morning, Keith.
Good morning.
Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
This hater Trey here.
Yeah, I recognize your voice.
It's been a minute.
I know you do, DJ. I know you do. I know Keith don't, but I thought we made up, Keith. You don't recognize my voice?
No, but well, maybe you should call more often.
That's true. But I'm real busy getting ready to move.
Okay.
So, but check it out. Can we return briefly to those two brothers that called up there talking about Biden and Trump are the same, real quick?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's the difference. Quickly, Biden, $2 trillion for a family plan. 1.8. Trump didn't do nothing for families, only for rich people with a tax break. 1.8 trillion for the American family infrastructure bill. Trump did nothing for our roads and bridges. Biden wanted. He actually went ahead and tried to get free college, 4-year college. He tried to forgive student debt. Trump didn't do none of that. $10,000 college debt relief. Oh, that was that. Replaced the water pipes in this country. Ended the Afghanistan war. Everybody got $1,200 stimulus money. He put us back into NATO, the World Health Organization, 67, and the climate change. He put the first black woman on the Supreme Court. Biden put the first black defense secretary, Lloyd Austin, first black woman press secretary, first woman to head the Navy, hosted Gay Day on the White House lawn. Trump did none of those. Okay, and we have
Trump didn't have a gay day?
Yeah, Trump had a gay day out there where the chick pulled up her shirt. The transsexual chick pulled up her shirt on the White House lawn. So he didn't do that this past summer. That was 2 summers ago.
So she freed the nipple?
Yeah. But, and my last but not least is the black chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Yep. All right? Trump did none of those. So they are night and day. These two guys calling up there talking about they are the same person under the same whatever. Okay. As for the young brother to start working there, he needs to see Car Wash.
Oh, another good one.
At the car wash.
So not the wash.
We gotta ask him first.
Not
We gotta
the
ask
wash.
him. Car,
Did
did you see Car Wash?
Or the wash?
See, I heard of it.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, put it on the list.
Nah, you gotta watch that.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Hey. Daddy Rich.
Yo, Daddy Rich
You
Brown.
got to believe in something. Why not believe in
Caller.
me?
Wait, so if you didn't see Do the Right Thing, then I know you didn't see Mo Better Blues.
Raheem.
Radio Raheem.
So Mo Better Blues, I added that to the list too.
Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning, man. How are you?
Doing well.
I'm out here stranded because my alternator went out on me, but I'm glad I wasn't on the interstate.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to you all through my MP3 player.
You have an MP3?
I keep a backup because WNOV is so important for me to listen to. Yes, going back to Cooley High, my part of that movie is when they were having that party and they had the lights out.
Oh, yeah.
Play.
playing Smokey Robinson.
Flashback.
Oh my goodness, that was some good dancing there.
That was a good soundtrack.
Absolutely. And thank you for the person that just called in and talked about what Biden did.
All right.
I'm going to hang up and listen.
right.
Have a wonderful weekend.
All right. Caller, welcome to the program.
That's the radio we grew up with on the block.
Good morning.
Hey, tell me to bring up Jungle Fever, man.
Jungle Fever. Tell him about Jungle Fever. Why he need to see Jungle Fever. Jungle Fever.
Hey, I was just showing
There's a
DJ
lot
my,
of Spike. Oh, let me get her because she texted me, said she couldn't get through. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. You're on air.
You're on the air.
Good morning.
Denise.
You're on air.
Can you
trying
hear?
to force folks out. It wasn't ready. See?
Call back, please. We hear you.
I was showing him my guy.
Oh, the boombox.
Yeah, that's the boombox we had on the block with the 20 Ds before Raheem came out. 20 D batteries.
So I know you haven't seen any of the early hip hop movies.
So do you think Purple Rain is a classic?
Crush Groove.
Classic as in, what defines classic? Classic to me means a movie that will forever be, or when we talking about movies, I feel like classic is a movie that like will forever hold a special spot.
Give me one of your classics.
One of my classics will have to be. See, I'm younger than
That's
you.
fine. Whatever your classic is.
So I gotta go with Holes. Cause growing up,
that was interesting.
I love that movie. Like I can watch that movie back to back.
Holes, Holes,
H-O-L-E-S.
not holes.
Not
holes. Caller, welcome to the program.
So yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right.
I just want to go back to, as I usually do because of my age, Sweetback's Badass Song. Because of the historical importance of the legacy that, that movie came from and other filmmakers and photographers and stuff. But also it was funny to me. So I just love that movie. Thank you for answering my call.
Denise, you should make sure you go see Outlaw Posse.
Outlaw what?
Outlaw Posse is out right now. It's Mario Van Peebles. His son is in it.
Mm-hmm.
He pays a true homage. It's actually a throwback. He does like an old blaxploitation movie, and it's got jewels.
Make sure I do that. I love that.
Yep. Everybody know that's Melvin Van Peebles who did that. The interesting thing about Sweetback's Badass Song was it's originally rated X.
Yeah.
And Bill Cosby was an investor. And Earth, Wind, and Fire contributed 2 to 3 songs for the soundtrack. You're listening to Community Voice. We're up on the last break of the program. Movies that Prince Carvey. We'll be right back.
This is Martina Golan-Graves, President and CEO with Mental Health America of Wisconsin. I want to take a moment to remind you that your mental health matters. This time of year can be stressful, but we have programs and services committed to supporting our community. We are a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping adults and kids live mentally healthier lives. We offer online screenings, outpatient therapy, and a peer-run warm line for support day and night. Call us today, 414-276-3122, or visit mhawisconsin.org to learn more about these services and more.
Make it a real Mad March with a playoff payout at Potawatomi. Every week, you could score your share of $100,000 in cash and free play. Play this March for drawing entries. Win each Thursday. Plus, the prizes refresh every week for even more winners. The playoff payout at Potawatomi, Milwaukee. It's anyone's game. For more details, visit paysbig.com/payout. Must be 21 and a club member to play.
you know his name, you know his legacy. Now Milwaukee Chamber Theater's production of The Mountaintop by Katori Hill invites you to explore and imagine the human side of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on stage March 8th through the 24th. Black community members are invited to join Milwaukee Chamber Theater at Legacy Night on March 22nd for a special performance of The Mountaintop, hosted by Copyright Magazine that celebrates Black culture and its legacy. Legacy Night tickets are $20. Get all the details at MilwaukeeChamberTheater.org.
Hi, my name is Tamika Vukovic, co-executive director of Wisconsin Voices. Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee. Now back to Community Voice with your host Keith Parris and Devon Jones, DJ The Protege. With your host Keith Parris and Devon Jones, DJ The Protege.
All right, welcome back as we end another program. What you got up, man?
I just got to give a shout out to my big brother, Vincent Bernard Jones. Tomorrow will be his.
We share a middle name?
Yeah. Tomorrow will be his birthday. So happy early birthday. Don't know if you're listening, but I appreciate you. You've always been a constant role model for me, and you have helped me and to mature and become the man that I am and the man that I am still aspiring to be. So happy birthday. Love you.
Hey, Vinny, if you want a copy of this tape, if you ever want to run it back for him, come get it, because I'm sure it's going to come up.
It's funny when you're on the phone.
Right. So just remind him how much he loves you. We'll have the tape for you. Key, you got anything?
Bye.
All right. Carvin, you good? Man, thank you. And thank you for this. I was impressed. Wait, 18? 18, that's pretty good.
19 in 2 months.
Oh, that's right. We won't be able to call you Young Carvey then, right? Because you'll be 19. Good Lord, Willow Creek don't rise. Hope to talk to everybody on Monday. Y'all have a safe and wonderful weekend. And as always, go from this place in peace.